Music Production.
What is poppin', guys? I hope you had a good weekend there. It's Monday and we're feeling good. April's coming to a nice close here. We're already like 5 months deep into the year, which is pretty crazy. So we're gonna go over the S&P and the Nasdaq here. Now it looks like the S&P is coming back to these levels that we were back in January, right? So I'm gonna mark that out right now. And it looks like we're starting to come back to these levels here. Now, it could be an inverse head and shoulders shaping up, right? But here's the thing, there's so much fear in the market, there's so much uncertainty that there's no clear bullish direction right now. If anything, the bears have been in control for time. So I think it's actually like I'm biased to the upside. I'm biased. I'm a bull at heart. Now, I just think I just like to zoom out always. Like I just zoom out and I think, holy crap, like we ripped so hard over the past 2 years pretty much. This is gonna take time. Whatever's happening, let it develop. It's easy. Like, could it be a head and shoulders? Potentially, right? We could also be trying to retest this trend line here, right? So it held us once, twice, three, four, five, like 6 times, right? We could now need to back test it to make sure it's now support, and then we get the run up, right? We might want to retest these lows that we made in like the beginning of March just to make sure that that area is demand. There's a few different things that could be going on. So in my opinion, I've already kind of like my strategy for the markets right now is pretty simple. I'm waiting for clear direction. That's it. Like I have Galaxy and another like crypto stock that I like in like medium to long term. So I'm just holding those and I'm adding shares here and there when I feel like it's appropriate because long term I'm bullish on those names. I'm confident in those names. I'm not really trading, right? Like right now it's a hard environment to trade. Well, I'm comparing it to like 2020 and 2021, right? Like it was quite the environment. Everything was going up. All the technical patterns were shaping up nicely so you could capitalize on them if you're a bull, right? But right now, it's been bear city. So my strategy doesn't work in this market. So why would I force it, right? Like you're just going to lose more capital if you just try to force it. So honestly, I'm chilling. I'm big chilling right now. And I think that that is probably the best thing to do. Have your long-term holders, like your long-term stocks that you want to add to, and then continue to add to those. And then eventually the trades are going to come. Like eventually this is going to be back into the groove of like, okay, we're the bull market continues, right? It'll happen eventually. I don't want to be the dude who's trying to call bottoms and stuff like that, but it's looking, the one thing I do like is that look at all this increase in bull volume coming in. It happens at the lows here, right? So over here, big spikes in volume coming in. We based out and we happen to go a little bit lower. We come back down, revisit this 4100 range, huge spike in volume, okay? Noted. Now we end up grinding up a bit, but now we're starting to fizzle back down into this range, and now we're starting to see large green volume coming in. So if anything, it's telling me that like we're trying to base here. Whether we can hold it or not is up to the bulls, and we'll have to see if the bears are strong enough to just continue to push us down. So the RSI is looking interesting. We're slowly grinding higher on the RSI. Everything, in my opinion, looks normal. So that this is what I'm looking for. I want to see if this is the area we're now going to base in. I'm going to mark off this zone, right? So where our left shoulder was and where the low of this potential right shoulder is going to be. We could be just basing in this range. Now, when I look at the Nasdaq, very similar kind of thing, right? Like what happens if we're just back testing this zone, ensuring that it's demand, right? So very similar chart. We had the falling wedge, we break out, and now the same thing's kind of happening. Look at the volume coming in, right? Down here, more volume. So it's interesting. This could be indicating that like, hey, whoa, The bulls are trying to make a line in the sand here saying, okay, we're trying to hold this level. That's what I see from my perspective. If I'm thinking from a bear's perspective, then what could potentially be happening right now is that we have a simple A, B, C correction going on right now, right? We have the A, the B, and the C. The C could lead us potentially, right? If this area doesn't hold, so I'm thinking in the Nasdaq, if 13,000 doesn't hold, then we're going to want to come into this range, this zone here. This was the last zone where we had some sort of confluence for a few months. It was from August to November, and this was in 2020. If this is an ABC correction, it is going to go into this area, somewhere in this area, right? Could it be the lows of it, right? Back at 10,800, potentially. Could it be around the middle? All I know is that if this is the pattern that's playing out, it's coming into this zone. So if we can't hold this area, I am going to be directly looking for this area. I'm going to be watching tech stocks. I'm going to be watching every stock. I'm going to be trying to keep my eyes peeled here, because I think that if it does come into that range, the charts will be juiced up. The charts will be juiced up. It's just more opportunity for us to capitalize on long-term strong stocks, blue chips. I'm bullish. I honestly think that if we do go lower, that's even more bullish, because it just gives you a better sale, for lack of a better term, on some stocks that are strong, like Apple's, Amazon's, Google's, Galaxies. Don't sleep on that. But yeah, like, this is what I'm looking at in the markets, and that's my opinion, right? Like, again, people think that this is horrible. Oh, the stock market's going to collapse and go. It's not going to go to zero, dude. Like, not a chance. But if anything, you try to switch up the mindset. The further it goes down, the better it is for you to go long. Just think about what happened in March 2020. People literally thought, oh my God, it's going to zero. Took a massive sharp correction, and then we bounced so hard over the last 2 years. People are like, what the hell? Like, what the fuck? So again, it's going to lead to more opportunity. That's the video for the day. Peace.